Hi, and welcome back to another Morris Minor project update. I've got a lot done this month because, lockdown, so I've been at home basically all the time and working on the car. So as you can see, I've got both the front wings on, and they've both been seam sealed and painted over now, so I don't have any concerns of rust settling in between the wing and the frame, the body I mean, and causing rust. Same deal on the other side. The headlights and side lamps both work. I'll show you that afterwards. I've also repaired the dodgy electrical that's in here, because the ground was all corroded, some of the wires were all frayed, it was just dodgy and may even be a fire hazard. So I soldered all the wires together, and turns out there's another horn hookup in here, but it's not being used. If I can focus the camera, there we go. Yeah, I can actually put two horns in here. They're just wired in parallel, but that's not being used. I'm also intending to put daytime running lights in this car for safety reasons. It's just a lot easier to be seen if you've got lights at the front of your car that are on. So I've just installed the module, whatever that thing's called. My only concern with that is because this is a generator, not an alternator. As you give it gas, the voltage ramps up, but after doing some testing with a battery charger and a battery to simulate, revving up the engine with a car with a generator, seems to work fine. So I've popped this thing in the car so far. It's got a fuse, and yeah, it should be good to go. I've also put a manual override switch in here. This allows me to turn off the daytime running lights if I want to, for whatever reason. Inside the car, you can see I painted the floor black. And I've got the transmission tunnel cover in place now with the shift boot. I was originally going to paint it green, but I was thinking the green paint is actually more expensive than this black stuff, which is subframe paint that I got from Repco. Super cheap auto, sorry. And I'm planning to put sound deadening material in it, so it's going to get covered up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. As long as it's protecting the metal, I'm fine with that. The master brake cylinder is also in. There's no fluid in it at the moment, so if I press the pedal, nothing actually happens. I've also got the brake lines installed. The rear differential isn't actually in, so that's just sitting there. However, the front has been all the brake lines have been replaced, and you can see in the engine bay how I routed them. That goes to the master cylinder, that goes to the front. There's a little junction thing here that goes to the other side, which has the same thing, as you can see. And this door is also on now. I put some rust convert on the bottom because it was a bit rusty. I figure this car's not always going to be rust free, so I might as well just leave it there, and spread a lot of fish oil in that, and pop the interior pieces on, and yeah, it's good to go. These were the old mirrors where the mounting points are. Mirror had actually been missing, so I took that off and then filled in the screw holes. They're actually right here, if you can see. Yeah, that's useless. Not sure if I covered this in the last video, but these step plates are in now, and I've corked them off and seam sealed them, so now water can't get in and rust out. I've put the step plates on the other side as well, but I haven't painted it yet because I ran out of green paint and I can't get more because we're in level 3. The interior piece of this door has also been put back on with fish oil sprayed inside, and overall I'm pretty happy with it. The rear wings are also on now. These bead things, whatever they're called, they're a bit wonky, but it doesn't look too bad. This taillight's got a new bulb in it because the old one was burnt. They both work now. Painted the lower half of the boot. I figure that's where the spare tire is going to go, and it'll probably hide the dirt a bit better if it's black. The upper portion I'm going to paint with green paint once I get my hands on that. I haven't seam sealed the wheel wells just yet, mainly because the gap in between here up there is too big, so I'm going to fill the void with silicone first and then seam seal it so water doesn't get in. But I have 3 coats of paint on the, whatever this thing is called, wheel arch. So I don't have any worries about that rusting anymore. Started painting the underside of the car. I cleaned off all that underseal. Used some spirits to wipe it off. And there's 2 coats on the front so far. So far I'm liking the result, and I'm going to do the rest the same. The front bumper has been welded now. It was a small rust hole, so just put a patch in that, and yeah, that's ready for paint. I popped the boot on as well. The body fill on it hasn't actually fully been sanded, but I figure it'd be easier to sand it when it's on the car, so I don't have to bend my back over all the time. The back, yeah, it's been seam sealed to fill in the small pinholes from the rust, and I just popped some metal primer on it. That's the rear license plate number light. I tested it and it works fine, so I just hooked it back up, nothing wrong with that. Finally got the rear windscreen in place. I had to get Dad to help. He pushed from the inside, and I had put a piece of string around the inside this rubber bit, and we just pulled it over the lip of the car while applying a lot of silicone lubricant, just to make sure it goes in smoothly. I didn't want to use water. Some people use soapy water. I feel like that would trap the moisture in between the seal and then rust it out. I've also applied the sealant. I mean, it's not the prettiest thing, but it's also not super ugly. I'd rather it be functional than pretty, because this is going to be daily driven eventually. I cleared out the garage a bit, so now there's not so much crap in here. These seats, I've made a little repair here, as you can see. I still need to wet clean these because they're pretty dusty and filthy. The legs have been painted black. They were just slightly rusty. Nothing that will compromise the strength, but now they just look a bit nicer. This is the rear door. I put a new weather seal on it. For some reason there was a massive gap here, so I had to fill in a piece of wood. It's not pretty, but it'll work. It's a little beat up car, so I don't really mind, but I'm pretty happy with that. It seals pretty well against the window. Same thing with the other door. Painted a couple bits and bobs just for aesthetic purposes. This is the license plate holder for the front. These are the seat mounts. I think I'm actually missing a bolt. I'll have to find one somewhere. That's the filler neck. I had to buy another bundle of this 3/16 inch copper nickel alloy stuff brake line, because I messed up a length, and I didn't have enough from the other bundle, so that's another $80 something. These things are expensive. Okay, well, underneath the car, that's a piece of brake line that I messed up. It goes from the master cylinder to the front of the car, to the engine bay. I accidentally kinked it, and that made the whole line useless, and I had to order another bundle because of that. Also found that the drain plug's actually leaking very slowly. It's because I changed the the copper crush washer, and that wasn't the right size, so it's leaking. That's about a month's worth of oil leak in that jar, so it's leaking very, very slowly, but it is leaking. I'm not too concerned, but I'll definitely change that crush washer to the correct size next time I do an oil change. Also, I forgot to mention that I've finished welding the car. The car is structurally sound now. I mean, it's not the most professional welding job, but it'll do. I mean, at least hopefully that's what WAF inspectors say. But yeah, it's all good now. I don't have any concerns of it falling apart while I'm driving down the road. That's the car battery. Just pop it in the car and I'll show you the indicators. Now, upon testing the indicators and figuring out what was wrong with them, they weren't actually working when I got the car. One of them actually did, I'm not sure why. I accidentally blew the 35 amp fuse, so I just swapped the fuses around. So that means the headlights and indicators and stuff work, but the horn and stuff don't now. but that wasn't required for my testing because the horn was already working. Right, I'll pop the battery in now. Let's see. This car is negative earth. Not sure if these came in positive earth from the factory or not. Unless someone converted it, I'm not sure, I don't know. But that's what it's been connected as when I got the car, so yeah. Now when connecting batteries, you always want to connect it with one that's not earth. So in this case, positive is not earth. So if this is because if I had connected earth first, that's grounded to the car, and if that was accidentally to touch the any part, middle part of the car, that would short out. So yep, that'll do for testing, and I'll show you the indicators now. Right, now let's see if I pop this on. That's the side lamps. If I pop it on fully, that's the headlights, and I can switch between dipped beam. Moments on dipped beam. If I press this, that foot pedal changes the higher beam, as you can see. I'm going to turn that off because that's going to drain my battery pretty quick. And this is the indicators. Oh, the ignition has to be on. I cut the power. I cut the wires at fuel pump, so when I turn the key, the fuel pump doesn't go jiggly all over the place. As you can see, that's the indicators. This is what it looks like at the back. One bulb does tail light indicator and stop lamp. Don't know how I feel about that, but that's how it is, I guess. Same thing with the other side. Switch is a bit of a bad connection. Just have to fiddle with it. And there's the other indicator. Now you might wonder, what does the indicators look like when the side lamps are on, because they share the same bulb. Well, this is what they look like. If I put the side lamps on, it just blinks brighter, because there's actually two filaments inside the bulb. One for the side lamp, which is dimmer, and another brighter one, which is for the indicator. And when disconnecting the battery, it's just the opposite. Make sure there's no load on the battery first, and then you want to disconnect the earth side first, which is negative in this case, and then the side that's not earth, which in this case is positive. I like to pop a glove over it or something, just I don't know, I feel a bit safer that way, although I don't think it actually does anything. I've scraped off a lot of the underseal underneath the car now. I haven't fully gotten off the last gooey stuff before I apply rust converter and paint, but that should be done soon. And lastly, I removed the exhaust excluders because they're all damaged, and I have to order some from Hankswood Classic Car Parts in Auckland. They don't have any stock at the moment, so as soon as there's stock, I'll order 4 of those and some mirrors, which is like $300 or something. It's pretty expensive. The exhaust excluders, the old ones, are here. You can see that they're not exactly in the best of condition. I mean, you could probably get away with that, but you know, I'm doing this project, I might as well do it right. Alright, that's about it. I hope you enjoyed watching this month's update on my Morris Minor project. Hopefully I can get this on the road possibly by the end of this year, or maybe early next year. I still need new tires, need to do the underside of the car, paint, underseal, body deadener, whatever that's called. Paint the whole car. I've already ordered a spray gun. Yeah, it's a neat little car.